Well, good evening, all. It's the old redneck. Yesterday, I was going to do a video about something that learned people have had a hard time defining the whole time I've been alive. It's called love, the emotion of, whatever you want to call it. Well, I figured I'd give forth my version of it. My whole life, you've always heard people say, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." Whether it be your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your aunt, your uncle, all that. Love is a word everybody throws around. When you're a kid, you're always hearing grandma say, "I love you." Your mom and dad saying, "I love you." All that. It's all well and good. When you get into school, all that, high school, junior high, the guys are notorious for using the word love to try to get a little extracurricular activity. Generally trying to put a notch on their belt or something. As you become an adult, it becomes easier and easier to say that word. "Oh, I love you," "Oh, you're the love of my life," la 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 la. A lot of people that got married have said that. A lot of people that got divorced have said that. Well, I'm going to give you my explanation for it. What I see using of the word love is for. I had what learned people would call an epiphany a month or so ago. As people that have followed my videos know, my little rants, my little raves, my wife has been very sickly. My wife, Deborah, is my wife for 35 years. I love her immensely. I didn't realize how immensely and how truly I loved her until this last episode in the hospital. Little history here. She's had open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. She's had her carotid arteries bypassed. She has a pacemaker and defibrillator put in. In this last surgery, they're replacing her femoral arteries. This last surgery, they cut her damn near in half. Or as I like to say, stem to stern. Well, the surgery went well. She was in ICU for a day, about 36 hours actually. And I get a phone call at work that while they were checking her, all of a sudden her right lung totally collapsed. I damn near dropped to the ground. Yeah, I'm a tough old country bird. I can handle pain to myself, blood, cuts, scrapes, broken bones, no sweat. But see that lady getting hurt? That bothered me very deeply. Doctor told me I didn't need to be there. I'm doing a video.
Oh, sorry.
So I stayed at work. And that was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got that phone call. I got out to the hospital at 7 o'clock at night. Ain't nothing worse than seeing the lady you love with a bunch of tubes going down her throat so she can breathe, so she can eat. And being basically put into sound sleep so it doesn't bother her. I sat there for a couple hours, watching her, holding her hand, talking to her. Didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't have a friggin' clue. I see all these people nowadays getting into these relationships of conveniences, I like to call them. They like to think everything's disposable. You got somebody that touches your heart, and it's true. You're going to feel everything they feel. Yeah, I know it sounds sappy, and I really don't care. I went to the hospital every morning, stayed there a couple hours, went to work, went back by the hospital for a few hours after work, which meant I left Oakland 6 o'clock, 6:30. I got there about 8 o'clock. I stayed there till about 11 o'clock. Got home about midnight. Got up at 5. Chugged down some coffee. Headed back to the hospital. Stayed there till about 9 o'clock. Headed to Oakland. 13 days. 13 days I did that. Of that 13 days, roughly about 6 or 7, she was totally out of it. She had that breathing tube down her neck, feeding tube, IVs all over her body. She looked more like a Frankenstein's monster than the lady I love. That I was there. I left notes, left notes when I was there. So I told nurses to make sure she sees them, that I was there. Little stupid shit like that. But back to these people with their convenience relationships or their hookups. If you're not putting anything into a relationship, you're never going to have one. And I don't care how many friends you think you have, how many besties, Yeah, I'm in with the crowd. Yeah, that's good. I'll tell you, from being a stubborn-ass redneck, likes to consider myself a loner, there's one person in the whole world that I trust with anything. And that is my wife. And I am very pitiful of these married couples that would rather think of a little spat they had being cause for a divorce than to remember why they got together in the first place. Was it just because, her legs turned you on, you had to get some of that, huh? Oh, what? He has a big boat, a flashy car that makes you happy? That's what life's all about? At one time, we had money. Had our bills paid, still had money to go play, have a good time. Wife got ill, money went away. You'll be the first to admit she was making more money than I was. Before Deborah got ill, she was making about $77,000 a year. And that's nothing to sneeze at. She was an accountant. And those bean counters make good money. Once she got disabled, it went from $77,000 to $1,800 a month. And it's been a fight. every damn day to pay the bills, to keep the house, to buy her meds, and I don't care. If my lady needs it, my lady will get it. But how many people in a relationship nowadays can say that? How many people get upset and fly off the handle with their first words that come to their mouth? And it's usually, you bastard, or you bitch, I want out. I never should have married you. My brother told me about you. My mother said you were no good. Whatever. If this video does anything, I'd like people to realize you got together with that person for a reason. Don't matter if you've been together a year, 6 months, 30 years. Always remember why you got together with them. People change. People get fat. People get ugly. But your soul stays the same. I bless myself every day and thank God that my lady found something in me that she thought was good. When I met her, I was renting a garage to live out of. My first words to her, truthfully, were bitch. My second words to her, not knowing who she was at the time, was you stink pretty. I was underneath a '69 Dodge Dart, working on it. And this lady walked by and her perfume smelled good. And being a dumbass, I said what first thing that came to my mind. It's the little things that keep a relationship going. It's not whether the bills got paid, or whether she still looks good in a bikini, or you still look good in a Speedo, or whatever. You may not still be driving that flashy car, but there's something in your soul that that woman you're with must like. 35 years my wife has invested with me, thankfully. In that 35 years, we have had, if I'm not wrong, 10 arguments. 10 arguments. Usually over the kids. They're trying to play one end against the other. Something like that, something small. But if there's one bit of advice I can give to anybody, be you old, young, or just starting out, middle of the road, just getting into your relationship, I'll give you the best advice I can give. Same advice my lovely Deborah and I follow. We never go to sleep mad. Period. There have been a few times, I'll be the first to admit it, that we've gone days without sleeping. Because she's a stubborn ass. Me, I'm a pushover. I don't get stubborn at all. But if you start with that goal in mind, that you never go to bed mad, you never go to sleep mad, you can always find a way to solve the problem. The other thing is, you're in a relationship with somebody, you watch them. Every person out there, male or female, has a telltale. You can tell when your mate is irritated. You can tell when the pot is boiling over. Do you want to feed the fire? You want to let it calm down a bit before you say anything? We all know the buttons to push to start a fight. Can we also learn the buttons not to fight? Thankfully, my wife Deborah is still with the land of living. And she's healing. Getting stronger every day. Thank God. Now this video may not make any sense to anybody, and I don't really care. I'm kind of making it for myself. Kind of putting myself out there. I usually don't put my personal shit out there. But if there's one thing I'm proud of in my 62 years of life, is that I've had the honor to have Deborah Gale as my wife. She's put up with this old redneck's bullshit for 35 years. Yeah, sometimes she has to kind of slap me down a little bit, you know, give me that look that I'm going over the deep end. She keeps my temper under control, which I'm sure the people of California would greatly appreciate. But for the most part, I have no regrets at marrying this lovely lady. She don't look the same as she did when I married her. I don't look the same as when I married her. We tolerate the little bit of extra weight we both have, or the little bit of illnesses we have. We'll work through it. We always do. As she and I are fond of saying to each other, it's you and me against the world, babe. And that's what a lot of young couples will never understand unless they put some effort into it. Relationships are not disposable. I don't care who you are, what race you are, whatever. We all need to have at least one person that we trust to have our back. And I know if push comes to shove, that lady would lay down her life for me just like I would for her. So on a sappy note, this is the old redneck. We're going to wish you all well. Hopefully the words will help somebody. You want to share it, I don't care. Like I said, this goes out from me and mine. And anybody that cares to watch it is free to watch it. You want to comment below. You want to send me an email, send it. redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. And I wish you all well. The old redneck's out. Good night.